Hi, I'm Ed Ramrus. 50 years ago, last summer, I was at Woodstock. My parents didn't know I was going, but I went anyway. I went with it was the summer between high school and college, and I went with a bunch of friends from high school, and we drove up there as close as we could get to the venue, and the traffic jam, just like they say in the movies, you know, the New York State Thruway is closed, man. And it was moving real slow. And finally we got to the general vicinity. I set up a big canvas tent that I had borrowed from my uncle for the occasion. And it's something we never went back to because the music was too good and it took too long to walk there. That summer I was going to music festivals in the city. There was a great one in Central Park. Saw a lot of good shows, and friends said, hey, why don't we go up to Woodstock? So I was one of the idiots that actually bought a ticket to go, and I wish I still had the dang thing, but I don't. The music, you know, was terrific. I was a big fan of the Incredible String Band, and I think that was as close as I could ever get to them. I went down, walked through the crowds, got to the stage. It was nothing but mud in front of the stage, and I was able to look up and see them, and I held my little Kodak Instamatic camera and took some pictures. All the music was terrific. I remember Jimi Hendrix playing the Star-Spangled Banner, Jefferson Airplane first thing in the morning. I think it was on Saturday, no, I think it was Sunday. Real-time Woodstock concert where they played every song, every act at the times that they occurred at Woodstock. I listened to that, and boy, it sounded a whole lot different. It was generally pretty good weather, except for the one rainstorm, and that was actually fun because nobody was able to bathe, so we were passing around soap, and everybody showered in the rain. But it wasn't bad at all, maybe a little bit hot. First thing we did was went back to our campsite because we had our sleeping bags and the tent at the campground, and when we got to the campground, much to my dismay, when the storm came through, it had twisted the frame of the tent like an umbrella in a storm, and I had to explain that to my uncle when I returned the tent to him. That was embarrassing. But we just basically had a blanket and laid out in the sun and in the rain. It was comfortable. What I remembered the most, and it had nothing to do with the music, I was probably the only person there that wasn't on drugs. I remember this one girl, I think she was having a bad trip. She was running around naked and screaming, Myron. And I don't know who Myron was, but finally her guy who identified himself as her brother came along with a blanket, covered her up, and took her to the bad trip tent. As a 17-year-old, I really appreciated seeing all the naked ladies.
We were 500,000 strong and